so excited to be here with you today. You are my personal massage therapist, my masseuse. What's your title?
Massage therapist.
Massage.
But some people refer to me as masseuse, and I'm cool with it.
Okay.
To me, that was the original term anyway.
Yeah. You don't get offended on
No.
that. Yeah. But for me, it's all body work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm very much into holistic health, mind, body, spirit. And so I must take care of my mental health. I must take care of my physical health, my spiritual health, all of that. So me making the investment to see you on a regular basis is important to me. And when I don't, my body tells me that I need to do something. So I'm interested. We're going to talk about relationships today, but I want to start out talking about you and what led you to this field of practice and why.
First of all, I believe it was purpose. Like, I didn't have enough sense to come into this field. I was introduced to personal training at a young age. I actually had a personal trainer in junior high. My my stepbrother, his girlfriend's sister was with this dude named Samson, which was a personal trainer bodyguard for their celebrities. And he took an interest in me when I moved from Milwaukee to LA, and he started training me. Which I fell in love with it.
What do you think it was about you that drew him to you?
I was already into fitness, but I didn't know what I was doing. My sister, my older sister, would give us a Sears catalog book, and she'd go through there, and you can meet my brothers and sisters, and y'all can just pick whatever you want. And there was no limit. And my brother would pick an Evel Knievel or whatever. My sister would pick a baby doll. I picked a weight set.
Okay. All right, you were serious.
I didn't know why. I was pudgy, and everybody made fun of me. And so I think that was psychologically the reason why I wanted to get more fit. And so by the time I moved to California, I'm this little muscular kid, but you couldn't tell me I wasn't the biggest person in the world.
Wow.
And so my personality was bigger than my muscles. And this guy, Samson, took to me, and he just really introduced me to personal training. But it was a buddy of mine. We both, just shared the same interests, and his mom took a liking to me too. And by the time I finished high school, and neither one of us was really interested in college. She was a hairstylist. He went to school for hair because that's what his mom did. Okay. And I wasn't sure. So she was like, "You're a personal trainer, go to school for massage therapy." And I trusted her, I didn't question it. And she found the school for me and everything. Wow. And I did.
And you went right out of high school?
It wasn't right out of high school because we were getting in trouble and stuff. And so that's when she...
You had a little life in between.
Yeah, I actually did a little college and stuff too and walked away from it. And she was like, "If you're not going to go to school, you need to do a trade." And so she talked us into that. But I'm going to tell you the reason why I said it was purpose. I only did it because she suggested it. But the first 3 months in school, only thing we talked about was energy. And you may not believe this, but I got kicked out of third grade twice for fighting teachers. I had attitude, anger management issue that was unlike this world, and it carried into my young adulthood. And when I went to school for massage therapy, and we started learning about energy and learning about your body and different things and the connection to the universe and this, that, and the other, by the time I finished school within that year, it didn't matter if I massaged one person. That school was for me. It was God's way of using it to transform your life. And it did. And
your way of seeing the world, your way of seeing yourself in this world.
I learned how to control myself. And that was just the introductory part of it. At age 55, I'm still learning it. And so all that ties into the relationship.
We never really get there. We had a family meeting last night. I teach, I'm a therapist, a mental health therapist, a substance abuse therapist, and I teach families to sit down and have family meetings and to talk about real issues. Well, I still do that with my own family.
That's good.
That means that there's a problem, we do it when everything is great, just to encourage each other. But I told them last night that you never stop learning. When you stop learning, you start dying. When you stop growing, you start dying. So we are forever learning. You never just know everything, that we've gotten to this place and that's it. So you're going to hopefully be learning for another 50 years plus.
Until I leave this earth. I know this because, I mean, in all honesty, I realized in my 30s that much of what I learned was all incorrect information. And so then I spent the next 20 some years knowing this, but really not understanding what a process was. And then once I understood what the process was, now I'm trying to create a whole new default by breaking habits. And so my son, he's 13, I feel bad for him because I'm always on him and trying to get him to establish good habits, because it is so hard to break a bad habit. And our flesh will fight to hold on to that habit, although we know it's not a good habit.
No, it's wrong. And you just keep
It's not productive. I don't like to use the word wrong. It's not productive. It's not effective.
It's not helpful.
It's not helpful. And so we'll argue what's right or wrong. So I always tell people, so I don't have to get caught in that, is it producing the outcome that you want? And then if it's not effective. So it's not me judging you. So that's kind of where my growth comes from, and me wanting to change a lot of what I was taught. It works in terms of me not honoring myself, but it doesn't work in terms of me honoring myself. And I think that's where a lot of us, that's the fight within us, because we want to be good people. But honestly, a lot of us, we haven't been taught to be good people.
And again, is it good or bad? Or I was training some new staff today. Is it the best me? You know, I want to be the best me that I can possibly be. I don't want to be good or bad. I want to be the best. And so I'm constantly evaluating, weighing myself. I don't need the world to do that for me. You know, I don't need others to do it, although I solicit feedback, but I want to be the best me.
Exactly. And that's what my job consists of. That's my business. I do fitness training and massage therapy, but it's all driven by energy. That's the source of what I do. And at the end of the day, my expectations is for me to be in alignment so that I can be available for you to transfer the necessary energy to you so that you can be the best version of you. The best way I can put it, and I'm not really a NASCAR person, but the best way I can put it is when they're going around a track 400, 200, or 400 times, they got to keep stopping to get new tires, to get fuel. That's me. Because corporate, and I think God personally put me in corporate for 15 years so that I could understand that. Because when I first was doing this, although I understood energy and this, that, and the other, it was for me. Everybody else, I think, my clients, I approached it from a physical standpoint. But after going into corporate for 15, 16 years and getting beat down, when COVID brought me back into this, I had a totally different approach. And it was like, I want to help people recover, reset, and get back into the game.
And I started seeing you in early COVID. I didn't know you had been in corporate America for 15 years. And you seem so uncorporate to me.
Listen, I honestly think God put me in. My sister was surprised because I never worked for nobody really. And that's the longest I've ever worked for anyone. But I honestly think it was meant. It was really meant, whatever. I mean, I climbed the ladder so quickly in the company that I looked up and 15 years had gone by. But it also took a part of me, like I was always a health and fitness. I kind of put that like last one I do and just dove all the way
to achieve.
And so health and fitness was no longer my out. Alcohol became my out. So I went from being a social drinker to drinking every day when I got off work because I was succeeding in corporate, but it was kicking and I needed that outlet, and it was alcohol.
It was draining your energy, that natural energy of life.
Yeah, it was. And so I get it now when I interact with my clients, and I think the key with me is I don't know the answer. I don't put the pressure on me to know the answer. My expectations for myself to put myself in alignment. And because of that, I'm able to get the answer from God in real time. And that's that thing.
With each of your clients?
With each of my clients. It's like...
So what does that process look like? So you're about to work on someone.
It starts before I'm about to work on someone. It starts when I wake up in the morning. Typically when I wake up in the morning, if I don't sit in the sauna first, which I try to 3-4 days out of the week, I'm definitely going into a stretch. I have a serum that I drink that consists of apple cider vinegar, some honey and lemon, and some things of that nature. And so I'm actually prepping my body. I'm not eating anything because I don't want my body to have to break down food and process food. So I'm just basically drinking things or whatever, and I'm preparing my body to have the fuel that it needs to get through my day. My biggest thing is no worry, no doubt, no fear. So anything that ties to that, I cast it out so that I can stay in alignment to hear from God, to hear. Religious people would not be fond of this, but hear from the universe. Because we've been told to look into heaven for God. Man didn't make the trees, the air, all the beautiful things that surrounds us. That's all God. And if we pay attention to it,
they're all speaking to us.
Oh, it's speaking to us.
I had this awareness maybe 20 years ago, but I was in the mountains. And I was sitting outside on the balcony. And I'm going to the mountains in another month, and I love the mountains. But I could hear the wind speaking to me. I could hear the coyotes howl,
You weren't scared?
They were speaking to me. I heard the universe speaking directly to me. And I realized, I said, God, you are in everything. You are everything. And he said, if y'all don't praise me, the rocks will cry out. So he is, and we, in the church, the very religious people, that's, sacrilegious, you talking about nature, God being in nature. No, God is in everything. So I get that.
Everything. So that's my preparation. So even when I'm working on yourself or anyone else, I tend not. I got in trouble by one person I've been massaging since '96. I got in trouble with one person. They was like, you didn't ask me any questions. I said, did I accommodate every area that you have issues? And she was like, yes, but you didn't ask me anything. So she was used to the programming of it.
Right.
I'm not arrogant or anything like that. I don't know. And be honest with you, because as long as I've been doing it, 9 out of 10, you can tell me the basics, but you don't know the deeper ends of where you're having issues at. But your creator do, the one that created you and I. And so I put myself in alignment so that I can be led. And so
you're an instrument.
I can't take any credit. I'm an instrument. I'm just being led. And so when I have people that's been massaged all over the world, like, oh my God, that was the best massage I ever had. I'm like, thank you. And like, I'm really like, for real, like modest, like, thank you, because it's like, my school taught me the basic fundamentals. They didn't teach me that. That was all God.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. But you are very gifted and blessed.
Thank you.
So relationships. Where do we even start? And we started talking about this. I don't know, you and I have some brief discussions whenever you're coming to work on me. And somehow we started talking about relationships. And you said, I want to do a series on relationships. What brought that up for you?
Well, it's so many areas that you can talk about, and you have to do way more in this segment.
This is the first tip of the iceberg.
I think what made me want to address it is because I see there's a war going on between black men and black women. Black men is, black women is, and no one is speaking highly of the other. No one is considering the plight of the other. You'll talk about it when it comes to, like, it's almost like a brother and sister. You fight your brother and sister, but can't nobody else fight them. And so if someone says something about the black man, then you'll consider his plight. Somebody say something about him, you consider it. But when it comes to one another, we don't consider it.
Right.
And so
if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm only thinking about myself.
Only thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about how I got here. The only thing you're thinking about and I'm thinking about is you have reached this certain age, you have this certain education, you're thriving in your career, as if that's supposed to translate and transcend into who you are in terms of your character, and that's not so. And so that's my biggest thing. We have to do a better job at stop pointing the finger at one another and start working on ourselves.
Yeah. In my relationships, I consider myself a relationship expert in some areas. I don't know everything, but one of the things that I tell people who are in a relationship with me, that if I'm going to come to you about an issue, I am first going to, again, examine myself and determine what role I played in whatever this issue is. And when I come to you, I'm going to say, you know what? This is an issue. And I realize I did A, B, and C. And I'm going to let you respond to that first, me acknowledging my part in the problem.
Exactly.
And hopefully in healthy relationships, that's going to push you to examine yourself and figure out what role you played in the problem.
It have to start before the pushing of yourself. And I'm going to tell you what pushed me. I was very insincere about failed relationships. Failed relationships didn't set well with me. Even my current situation where, I'm separated, never set well with me. So each time it was self-reflection time. And so one of the things that I realized as a man, and there's some deeper aspects that I can go with this in terms of X chromosome, XY chromosomes, and all that stuff, and I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna keep
Not
it
yet,
simple.
we're gonna do that later.
Keep it simple. But I realized that there was too many times, though I have a relationship with God couldn't reach me because I was in my feelings. And feelings are not to be dismissed, but they also not to guide you either. Those emotions and those feelings are letting us know there's something happening, something need to be addressed.
I teach that feelings inform us, but they don't lead us.
They don't, but what happens is we allow them to lead us. And so when you allow your feelings to lead you, there's a disregard for the other person.
Because feelings are protective of us. It says, hey, survival, fight, flight, or something, but you're hurt, do something.
But here's the deal. This is where most of us mess up when it comes to those feelings. Instead of us turning inside to address it, we deal with it externally. And so in our culture, it has become popular. If you hurt my feelings, now I told them, I this and that, you dead to me. All these words that's powerful that we're not even thinking about. I cut them off. You cancel this, that, the other. All of it is external resolutions, and no one is turning inside to say, you know something, how can I manage my feelings? Because I'm the reason I'm not getting the outcome that I want in these relationships, not just in husband and wife relationship or boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, but even work relationships. Some people have the worst work relationships because it's the same toxicity. You're caught in your feelings and you don't know how to turn it and manage it. Now, I'm not judging anyone.